Hey guys, welcome to part C. We're continuing our review of fractions that are tenths and hundredths, and now decimals. All things that are super important in 7th grade, but maybe weren't taught fully to you in the earlier grades. So here's a quick check of the answers. 24 hundredths as a decimal is right here. 4 hundredths as a fraction is right here. 3 tenths as a decimal. In this visual model, there are 32 hundredths shaded in, and as a decimal, it's written like 32 hundredths. In this one, we kind of need a mixed number because we have more than one whole. So we have 1 and 16 hundredths, or 1 and 16 hundredths. And this last one, I want to see, just like a check for understanding who can get this on their own. Secret word is a secret emoji, that guy. Draw me a picture of that, and please watch this video if any part of this was confusing. Alright, so now we're going to take these fractions that are hundredths and tenths and turn them into decimals. We're still going to draw them. So this first one says 24 hundredths. To shade that in, I'm going to shade in a column, which is 10, another column, which is 20, and then 4 more hundredths. In total, I have 24 hundredths. And remember that the hundredths place, when you're dealing with a decimal, this is the tenths place, this is the hundredths place. So I need to make sure that the last number ends in the hundredths place. So 24 hundredths. And again, hundredths are like pennies. So 24 hundredths is pretty much like 24 cents. You'd write it the exact same way. Next one, they give us 4 hundredths, which I know because the 4's in the hundredths place. So I'm going to rewrite this one like 4 hundredths. And then I know that a hundredth is 1 out of 100. And each one of these squares is 1 out of 100. So I'm going to shade in 4. And that's what 4 hundredths would look like. This next one, be careful, it's 3 tenths. So I know that decimal-wise, I need to go to the first spot after the decimal place. That's the tenths place. And then we can't just draw in 3 of these little pieces because the little squares are hundredths, but each long rectangle, or each group of 10 hundredths, that's the same as 1 tenth. So that's 1 tenth. That's another tenth. And that's another tenth. So you could write it like that. You could have also said that 3 tenths is like 3 dimes, which is the same as 30 cents. Which also would have been equivalent. I definitely skipped a bunch because I just want to make sure that people are still doing some of this on their own. Really, I hope you're doing it all on your own at first and then just checking. Alright, here's the visual model. Each little square is a hundredth, so if I count these up, I know I'm going to have 10, 20, 30, 40 hundredths, 41, 42. So that's 42 hundredths. And I just got to make sure that we go to the second place after the decimal, because that's the hundredths place, so that's 42 hundredths. Alright, so using this visual model, I see that we're actually going to have to put something in the ones place, because we have a whole. So that's an entire amount, that's a whole. And then, after that, we have 10 hundredths, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Alright, so as a fraction, that's like saying we have 1 whole and 16 hundredths. As a decimal, that's like saying we have 1 whole and 16 hundredths. Again, you say it the exact same way because decimals are really just fractions. Passing up our secret word. What up, secret word? Last one. Hopefully you'll have the hang of this one, and I'll be able to check and just make sure that all of this is making sense to you. Super quick page. I'll see you for part D.